Yep.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please. We are going to start the meeting at 6:03 p.m. tonight.
Michael Cosman,
Present.
Thomas Wood,
I'm here.
Hank LaFave,
Here.
Barbara Hebert,
Here.
Charles Costa,
Here.
Rick Collins, James Coffey.
Here.
Resolution 193, approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Resolved that the minutes of November 7, 2019 be approved and the reading of the minutes be dispensed with.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Costick, is there a second?
Seconded.
Hebert, any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So does carry. Is there any public comment this evening? Seeing none. Resolution 194, abstract 11B-19.
Resolved that the abstract and audited claims number 11B-19, 2239 to 2329 for $719,993.26, and abstract 11B 351 to 362 prepays in the amount of $807,654 be received as reviewed by the audit committee. The supervisors hereby authorized to pay said abstract.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood, is there a second?
Second.
Wave, any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please say aye. So does carry. Resolution 195, monthly department reports.
Resolved to receive and place on file monthly department head reports, building and grounds, highway superintendent, park and recs, codes and zoning, planning and community development, supervisor's financial report, and town clerk.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Costick, is there a second?
Seconded.
Hebert, any discussion?
And just so they know that our water and wastewater department also has their,
Yes, that one just came in.
that one just came in, so just wanna make sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So does carry. Resolution 196, resolutions authorizing the supervisor to enter into the decommissioning agreement.
Whereas New York Plattsburgh 1 LLC intends to build a solar energy generation project on Route 22 in the town of Plattsburgh. Whereas the town of Plattsburgh and whereas New York Plattsburgh 1 LLC wishes to enter into an agreement to set forth the terms of conditions of having funds available to pay for the cost of decommissioning of the project. Whereas James J. Coffey, town attorney, has reviewed the decommissioning agreement and discussed the matter with the finance manager, it is in the judgment of the town attorney to enter into the decommissioning agreement, a copy of which to here is attached, that it is in the best interest of the town of Plattsburgh. Now therefore be resolved that the town supervisor is hereby to execute any and all documents necessary to contract with New York Plattsburgh 1 LLC regarding the decommission of the project.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Lefebvre, is there a second?
Second.
Costick. I just want to add two very brief comments to this. First and foremost, thanks to Jim for facilitating this. This relates to our local law. This is the first thing that falls under this, and the decommissioning is really about the many years down the road. It's really nice to see that this part of it's being completed and we can move this project forward.
Well,
So it's a pretty big step for us.
There's two things I didn't know. One was like you hold the money in escrow, and the other one was having a bond.
Right, we're going, the escrow option is a better option for us, because in the agreement with the bond, they didn't name the bonding company, and also they had in the last paragraph, I don't know if I mentioned it at the work session, was that the bonding company would have the option of canceling the bond. Yeah, and I called the attorney and I said, and he said that's standard language, and I said, well, that may be the case, but anyways, I believe we're better off just taking the money up front. I think the first payment's about $110,000. Take that money, they'll pay us every year for, I think, about 20.
I thought it was 157,000 to start with.
Well, I don't remember exactly, it's 100 and something.
Okay.
I didn't think it was that high, I don't think it is, but anyway, it's a good hunk of money to start with, and I think we'll be in good shape, and I think that's far superior to the bond, because even if the company's good today,
Mhm.
where the bonding company would be 15 years from now, I don't know. If we've got in our own bank account, we're in much better shape.
You know, there's a certain amount that's added to it each year, right?
That-
$2,000.
They make- oh, it's a little more than that.
2,100 one year, and then
Yeah,
it's not the same each year.
no, there's some formula, and they pay the money each and every year, which I think puts us in very good shape. And so hopefully, maybe if interest rates ever go up,
Mhm.
we'll get a little interest on it too.
Do we have any idea how much it would take to decommission?
315,000.
Doesn't seem like, this seems like to go up to 200,000.
Well, I think because of, first of all, in the decommissioning agreement, they built in cost of living going up. So if I think it's, I looked at it pretty carefully. I think we're pretty well covered.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 So does carry. Resolution 197, salary increase for Elaine Wood.
Whereas there are times when terms and conditions of employment may change and situation may develop, making it important to review employee wages in terms of conditions of employment. Whereas the town of Plattsburgh Town Board is desirous to maintain fair and equitable working conditions and compensations for its employees. Whereas in the letter attached from tax receiver Jackie Blue has made a request to increase her pay January 1, 2020. Therefore, be resolved that after due consideration and discussion with the finance manager, it is a recommendation of the supervisor that the tax receiver's request for a salary increase be approved and the finance manager be authorized to make said salary increases for Elaine Woods as indicated. And it be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the finance manager, tax receiver, and a copy be placed in Mrs. Wood's personnel file.
And you'll note, before I accept the motion, that it's 1750. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Hebert, is there a second?
Second.
LaFave, any discussion?
Yes,
This was already discussed in the
Elaine
budget,
Woods
so-
has been with us for a good long time.
Yes, she has.
Yeah, and I think this is probably the reason for making sure that we have more.
Yep. And it's incumbent upon the individuals in the separate offices to work on their budget
Mhm.
and to present this. And this
Yeah.
is something that Jackie has done.
Yes, she did.
So she's followed that process, so. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 So does carry. Resolution 198, seeking determination for the 2019 Town Center Smart Growth Plan and Comprehensive Land Use Plan Amendment. I will put this out there because some times in the past, we have waived the reading. I don't know if you would like to entertain that or not, but I will leave that to the board for determination.
I move that we waive the reading of Resolution 198.
Okay, waive the reading, go to a vote. Tom, is there a second to that effect?
Seconded.
Hebert, go to discussion. Just for the audience at home, our secret determination is part of the process. It's part of the requirement, and it is related to our smart growth plan. We've already had our public hearings, and this is just part of some of the administrative process. All right? All those in favor, please say, actually, I will ask for a roll call vote on this one.
Okay, Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert.
Yes.
Charles Costa.
Yes.
Mike Cash.
Yes, does carry. Resolution 199, adopt the Town Center Smart Growth, a comprehensive plan update.
Can we, I'd like to have this one read.
Sure.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
Let me read it.
Yeah, please.
Yep.
Thanks, Ricky. Yeah, I think that's.
Whereas the town's existing comprehensive land use plan was authorized in 2010. Whereas the town has hosted significant growth and development since the adoption of the 2010 comprehensive plan. Whereas it is determined that an update of the comprehensive plan specifically focused on commercial town center, whereas for the purpose of the reducing sprawl, reducing energy consumption, providing multi-modal transportation improvement design guidelines, creating an aesthetic sense of place, and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Whereas the Public Advisory Committee composed of residents, planning and zoning staff, board members, was instituted by the supervisor to assist in the planning update process. Whereas the Public Advisory Committee has successfully developed an updated comprehensive land use plan for the town of Plattsburgh. Whereas the Public Advisory Committee has provided a final draft of the Town Center Smart Growth Plan recommendations for adoption by the Town Board, Town of Plattsburgh. Whereas the Town Board scheduled and held a public hearing on November 7th, 2019 at the Town Hall Meeting Room as part of the Town Board's consideration, 1, environmental impact of, and 2, the adoption of the Town Center Smart Growth Plan Comprehensive Plan Update. And whereas Clinton County Planning Board was provided a copy of the Town Smart Growth Plan for review in accordance with the General Municipal Law 239M and has responded with their approval of said action by Resolution 103-19 on November 6, 2019. Now therefore be resolved that the Town Board does hereby adopt the Town Center Smart Growth Plan with supporting maps, plans, reports as an official amendment on the update of the Town Comprehensive Plan. And it be further resolved that the Town Board does hereby direct the Town Planning Department to make arrangements to have the Town Center Smart Growth Plan duplicated and made accessible to the town website. And it be further resolved that the Town Board does hereby direct the Town Supervisor to forward each member of the Town Board, Town Planning Board, Town Zoning Board, a copy of the Town Center Smart Growth Plan. And it be further resolved that the Town Board does hereby direct the Town Supervisor to forward each member of the Public Advisory Committee a copy of the Town Smart Growth Plan with a letter of appreciation for the work and effort in the preparation of this document. And it be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be given to the Town Clerk, Planning and Community Development Department, and Codes Enforcement Office.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Wood. Is there a second?
Second.
Caustic. I want to add just a couple of items under discussion. I think there are periods in time where municipalities adopt documents that you will see a point in the line of its history that will be transformational. I truly believe that this will be one of those documents for us. It will not happen tomorrow, it may not happen next year, but I do believe that it will be along the continuum of our municipality's growth that will really be defining.
Yeah, and Michael, when we changed it from planning and community development, I don't normally bring props, but, you know, this document,
Yep.
we've talked about planning, and that is so crucial to, I think, what we bring to our table.
Mhm.
And so, just proud of that from everybody here, as well as the TAC and the zoning board and the
And I want to thank
planning department.
you and Tom for being our liaisons to that committee. You know, each of you contributed significantly to that, as well as the, you know, other residents and taxpayers and other members of our community. I mean, this, a lot of time and energy went into this. And the next thing that will be occurring is, you know, the comprehensive land use update that will be occurring. But this is a critical thing,
Mhm.
and I hope everyone takes a moment to really reflect on the impact that it will make for us.
I think we'll probably look at a zoning next step. Pretty sure that updated zoning to
Yep.
match this.
And, you know, what I think is really telling about this document too is when we look at planning, we also look at how we implement things. We don't wanna just adopt a plan and have it sit on a shelf and collect a bunch of dust. When we had an opportunity through Meg's good work and helping to identify some resources of the clean energy community, we were able to take an overlay of some of the funding of that. So as the first community in Clinton County, as a clean energy community, we took elements of that and were able to infuse that in this document. So we are really kind of leading in a different angle with that too.
It helps pay for it.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
No, that's true.
So, I mean, it's, this, on so many different layers, has really done some really kind of unique things before we've even implemented the design aspects for our community.
And the comprehensive land use document, which I was kind of overwhelmed when I saw it, which has been in place for 10 years. What was really amazing is that there was an alignment of that as this town center smart growth plan was put into, you know, narrative, put into draft, put into it. So it was, for me, a good way. This is a chapter, and that's what I think I've been trying to explain. It's a chapter, it's an amendment, it's a chapter of that comprehensive, it's a land use document that we don't let sit on the shelf and collect dust, and we have to go back and revisit it. But there were, right, Tom, there were portions of that pulled out of that that were actually integral to this.
Yeah, I've been really pleased, you know, over the years, since we did one in 2010, much of it has been, we've gone through it and we have either accomplished it or have it in the process. And I think this is gonna add to it, and really, it makes it even a more stronger comprehensive land use plan. But I think that we still always have to go back and revise and keep looking at the overall. This was a specific area, I think we still have to look at the overall and what the goals should be for the next 10 years or 15 years in the future for these types of things.
Can I get a roll call vote on this one this evening?
Thomas Swift,
Yes.
Mike LePage,
Yes.
Barb Hebert.
Yes.
Charles Costick.
Yes.
Mike Casper.
Yes.
But as an aside, you don't need to send me 2 copies, I'll just take the one for.
Okay, perfect. Just a quick note, as chair's discretion, Jim Coffey and I met with 2 representatives from Ellenburg earlier in the week about the mausoleum, just trying to stay on top of that, because there is very likely that we will be taking over the mausoleum come January 1st. Jim is drafting a document for us to begin to consider where we would use the services of Ellenburg. As you remember, they are gonna continue to have the mausoleum and the crematorium. The idea is for us not to have more staff members to do the entombments, so we would use the contracted services through Ellenburg. So it would be an intermunicipal agreement for, you know, shared services of sorts. We will have that draft document. We won't pass it next week, but I just wanna give you a heads up that that document will be coming.
So at that point, then, we'll only be responsible for the upkeep of the mausoleum here on the Tom Miller Road.
Correct, correct.
And as I understand it, we are still in contact with our representatives, et cetera, and the state that they are not going to be, okay, here it is, and we're never gonna look at it again.
Yep.
That we might be able to get other funds in the future, if need be, to keep the building up.
I have to say, Tom, that we have been very fortunate to have some tremendous representatives in Senator Little. She was one of the early voices in this. When Janet was still in the Assembly, she was remarkable, and Assemblyman Jones, when he got elected, he didn't miss a step. So between our 2 state representatives in this particular case, they've done a remarkable job. And the person that really is the unsung hero of this all is Connie Gucker.
Yes, it is.
She is just a remarkable human being. She is doing this really out of the kindness of her heart. She gets paid for reimbursement of travel up here only. I mean, she's not drawing a salary, she's not doing any of that. And her background is that she's the coroner down in her home county, and she also helps the Queensbury Cemetery. That's basically her daily business, so she knows this very, very well. And she's spent, I think it's been since 2015 now, that she's been in the receiverships position. So she's wrapping up that position, getting it ready, and, but she also said that she'll be a phone call away if we need some general guidance.
Still willing to do that after 4 years, and
Yep.
I think we really need to recognize her
Mhm.
and
I agree.
recognize what she's
Yeah,
done in
absolutely.
some fashion.
So that receivership will expire December 31st.
Yes, and the reason that I'm laying this out now is there have been various times along the many years that we've been doing this, where they've said the receivership will end, and then it's been extended. It is very, very, very likely that December 31st will be the last time.
Okay.
According to-
I do not anticipate the receivership being extended again. Could it?
Could it? Yeah.
It may, but I think it's rather unlikely. So now we're in that period of putting some of the final documents together in the remaining weeks of this year. There's not much to it, but those will be coming before you in the coming weeks, okay?
And do we need to, I mean, I realize that, you know, we're going to take it anyway, that's the way it's supposed to be, but is there any way we document the condition of the building at the time that we're,
We will be doing a number of things to show appreciation for people that have assisted us, also acknowledge kind of the current state, the finances that the state gave us, and also paths moving forward should we need future assistance. Okay.
yeah, she did a remarkable job and she has continued to do it. It's amazing.
All right, I would ask for a motion to adjourn tonight at 6:23 PM. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Hebert, is there a second?
Second.
Thompson, Chuck still wants to test this, if no one motions for this, do we just stay
Chuck's
in
my
limbo?
I do want
Chuck's
to test
my
it to see
partner, though.
what happens if we don't
Yeah.
actually pass it.
Yeah, I mean, it's
This is
just,
my other.
No discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, Carrie, drive safe, everybody, thank
We
you.
should do that,
Is
just
there
not
any-
say
Just,
anything.
yeah, we should.
chance we get a chance to look at
Guess
the
I'm
committee
Regional guy we
assignments
work
in terms of
with,
what,
he's big on that, I'm okay with the
Barb
opposite
is
side,
looking on.
I don't
Maybe
mind.
before our meeting next
He's a big why,
We're-
what if,
Jim-
why,
Jim,
what
I
if,
can-
what if.
Yeah, I just
He
have
does
to.
that.
oh,
Well, actually,
It's
Dave,
competitive.
Glenn,
I want, I want to
Oh,
get in
I
there.
just thought this
I
was
wanna
good
get
night.
in there.
got
He's,
back
he's the
real
type that's like,
quick.
I don't care if you don't ever answer me, I'll sit here forever. He goes, I'm okay with the awkward stuff.
I'm gonna put that on the,
So I think
the
we
next
need
work.
to do it, so I think we just need to do that, don't we? Just sit there for a while, nobody say a word.
We have to be strong. That's hard, okay.
And that was a good piece of,
Yeah, that kid did a nice job of that, the one on
Yeah, Jim,
Forty-four.
if you do, we'll,
Yeah,
check
oh, that
in.
kid did a nice job.
Just let him
of
know
that.
our
He spent,
conversation.
Sure, yeah.
he was probably up there hour and a half. Yeah, yeah, good guy.
channel box. No,
Yeah, it was nice, it was nice to have them, and he reached out to us. I mean, he saw, you know, I think it was Jeff Favreau put it on Facebook.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying,
He saw that.
they
and
pick
then-
up on all of that
Well,
stuff.
he reached right out, made a call, and that, you know, the only thing in my shop is that Sun community, the Sun. That, gal called us from there too, I talked to her yesterday afternoon.
And his brother used to, for 20 years, was my neighbor down on Market Street at the garage.
Oh, no,
Lyle's brother.
oh, okay,
His-
Bob, oh yeah, big Bob, yeah, oh yeah, no, I remember Bob. Remember Bob, yeah.
And then he came to an untimely death there where his wife backed over him.
Yeah, they was out there with her.
One of those things.
Yeah, I remember
She
that.
thought, at first, he thought it was snow or something that was underneath the car,
And
but it was him.
I'd forgotten all about that, Rick, you just mentioned, but you're right, that's what it was, she backed over, I
Backed
don't
over with the
remember.
van.
Yeah, 'cause he was in rescue hose for years.
Yep.
Rescue hose for years, you see him all the time. But Keith, his other brother, Keith is still.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, well, he put up an awful fight,
Right to the end.
right to the bitter end, right to the bitter end.
Oh, not this one, no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awkward silence.
no, you,